let's talk about one of the greatest, most chilling maritime mysteries ever told. We're going back over 75 years to the Strait of Malacca, where a ghost ship was found just drifting. And on board, the entire crew was dead, their faces locked in expressions of pure, absolute horror. This is the story of the SS Ourang Medan.
Just 2 words. That was the last thing anyone ever heard from the ship. A broken, frantic message, and then nothing. The line went dead, and the SS Ourang Medan fell silent forever. Okay, so let's set the scene. It's February 1948, in the Strait of Malacca, one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. The water's calm, the day is clear, and then, out of nowhere, radios on nearby ships start to crackle with a distress call that is anything but ordinary. Now, you have to understand, this wasn't some garbled voice call you could barely make out. This was Morse code. And while that might sound old school, it was and still is incredibly reliable. It cuts through atmospheric noise like nothing else. So when an SOS comes in via Morse code, you know it's serious. You listen. Imagine being the operator on the other end decoding this. It starts with a standard SOS asking for a doctor. Okay, urgent but normal. But then the message takes a horrifying turn. All officers, including the captain, are dead. Then crew members are also dead. After sending their coordinates, the transmission just dissolves into a jumble of dots and dashes. And finally, that last clear message, I die. So who picks up this terrifying call? A nearby American merchant vessel, the Silver Star. The captain doesn't hesitate. He immediately changes course and floors it towards the Ourang Medan's last known position, probably expecting to find a ship on fire or sinking or the scene of a pirate attack. But what they find is so much weirder. The Ourang Medan is just fine. It's perfectly intact, floating peacefully in the water. There's no damage, no signs of a fight, no smoke. But it's completely, utterly still. An eerie silence hangs over the whole vessel. Something is very, very wrong. The captain of the Silver Star is doing everything he can. He's blasting the ship's horn, shouting over the loudspeaker. And the only thing he gets back is the sound of the ocean. That unnerving quiet is all the proof he needs. Something terrible has happened. He has to send a boarding party over to find out what. All right, this is where the story goes from mysterious to straight up terrifying. As the rescue team climbs onto the deck of the Ourang Medan, 2 things hit them right away. First, a strange bone-deep chill, which makes no sense in the hot tropical sun. And second, that silence. It's heavy, almost deafening. And then they see him, the first crewman. And this poor soul isn't just dead. His face is a frozen mask of pure terror. His eyes are wide, staring at nothing. His mouth is open in a silent scream. His arms are thrown up as if trying to push away some unspeakable thing. And it wasn't just him. It was the same across the entire ship. The captain, dead on the bridge. The radio operator, slumped over his gear. Even the ship's little dog was found dead, its teeth bared in a final frozen snarl. Every single body was found in a defensive posture, with that same look of absolute horror. And here's the kicker. Not a single mark on any of them. No injuries, no wounds. They were scared to death, literally. Okay, so what do you even do in a situation like this? Well, the captain of the Silver Star decides the only thing he can do is tow this ghost ship to the nearest port. I mean, this is a floating crime scene, and they desperately need answers. But the Ourang Medan wasn't about to give up its secrets. Just as the boarding party starts rigging up the tow lines, smoke begins to pour out of cargo hold number 4. And within seconds, it's not just smoke, it's a full-on fire. The crew scrambles, running for their lives back to the Silver Star. And just as they make it clear, boom, a huge explosion blows the Ourang Medan to pieces. And just like that, it was gone. The ship sank like a stone, taking all the bodies, all the evidence, and all of its secrets with it to the bottom of the sea. The only thing left was the unbelievable story told by the crew of the Silver Star. So with the ship itself completely gone, any official investigation basically hit a brick wall. But a story like this, it doesn't just disappear. For decades, people have been trying to piece it all together to answer that one massive question: what in the world happened on that ship? Now, the first problem is a pretty big one. Officially, there are no records of a ship named the SS Ourang Medan. And for a lot of people, that's where the story ends. It must be a hoax, a sailor's tall tale. But you have to remember, this was right after World War II. It was a chaotic time, and plenty of ships were operating off the books, using fake names, especially if they were involved in something illegal.
And the story just kept popping up. In 1954, a Dutch newspaper found guys who claimed they'd worked on the ship and that it was definitely used for smuggling. But the really wild part? In 2003, the CIA declassified a letter they'd received back in 1958, detailing the entire incident. Now, why would the CIA be holding onto a file about some random ghost ship for almost 50 years? That suggests this was a lot more than just a spooky story.
So, let's get into the theories. The most logical one is that the ship was smuggling a nasty cocktail of hazardous chemicals left over from the war. Let's say a shipment of potassium cyanide started leaking and mixed with seawater. That would create a toxic gas, causing rapid suffocation, which would totally explain the terrified faces and lack of injuries. And what if they were also carrying something like, say, highly unstable nitroglycerin? Well, there's your sudden fire and your ship-destroying explosion. It all fits pretty neatly.
But then there's the darker theory, the one that feels a little more like a spy movie. What if the cargo wasn't just old chemicals? What if it was something far more secret and far more deadly? Some researchers believe the Ourang Medan was transporting biological weapons, maybe nerve agents developed by Japan's infamous Unit 731. A leak of that could absolutely cause bizarre, instant death. And it would explain everything else: the unregistered ship, the secrecy, and why the CIA might have been very, very interested.
So that's where we're left. Was the SS Ourang Medan just a tragic accident? A case of smugglers getting in over their heads with dangerous cargo? Or was it something much bigger? A piece of a dark, hidden history? A conspiracy so secret that its evidence had to be blown up and sent to the bottom of the ocean? After more than 75 years, the truth is still down there, locked in the deep with its crew. A permanent, chilling